What's going on, everybody? We haven't been live in a couple of days. It is June 13th, 2025. Sorry about all that. And we will be going live for an hour. You can tell yourself that you love yourself, and you can look for the person that is saying, I love you. Most people, they run around with their mind their whole life, and they just go around and go around. Take these out. It never ends. Most people are healthy and they don't have nothing wrong with them, but they just run around in their mind nonstop. Hello from Iceland. Hello, Andric. So, most people are healthy and they don't really have any physical problems, but the problem is that they're stuck in their mind. So the only problem in the world, I'll say that again. The only problem in the world is that you get stuck in your mind. There's a whole nother world outside of there, outside of your mind. People always want quick fixes. They want quick answers. But does that change anybody's life? their mind always creates a problem and then it wants a solution. So next time you have a problem, watch watch and see what the problem is, and then watch the mind try to get an answer. Because you will see that your mind is the one suffering because it creates a problem, and then your awareness gets caught in the problem. So any problem you have is because of your mind. If you want happiness forever, well, you got to understand where happiness comes from. It comes from the inside. I don't know what you mean by leftists. Creamian, I don't know what you mean by leftists. But your happiness comes from the inside. People that have millions, they keep searching outside of them. And they think that this happiness is, they keep searching for the next thing. And they do all these extravagant things. Eventually, they even go crazy because they're always searching something to make them happy. You can enjoy these things, whatever brings you happiness outside, but the real happiness that's forever lit, that's forever on, is inside of you. So you can forever be happy if you control it, because it is your natural state of being to be happy all the time. That's why we want it. And so it's normal to want it. Because you are happiness. No one can take that from you. You create happiness. So every time you feel happy, Where does it come from? Every time you feel happy, where does it come from? You feel it on the inside. So happiness originates from you. You create it. It doesn't really matter what you do on the outside. Your limiting beliefs are making you not happy. So your thoughts simply are not making you happy. Because soon as you become happy, then everything in your life will be happy. And you also will do things that align with you. If you ever see someone who's unhappy, it's because 99% of the time they're just in their head. You don't even need entertainment. Because how can you be entertained? You only think you're being entertained because you're being distracted. You are the entertainer, the entertainment. You're happy before you go to the movie, and you're happy after you go to the movie. So a lot of people will watch a movie, and when it's over, it will give them thoughts in their head. It, they will be thinking, but who are you before your thoughts in your head? Hello from Greece. Hello, not nocturnal eyes. I appreciate everyone being in here. We just started. I didn't go live the last couple days. But here we are. Who are you in between your thoughts? Who are you? Because your thoughts change. So if you are your thought, the thought that goes on in your head, and if it changes, then how is that you? If you think that about an island and you're on an island, is that really you? Is that your body? Is that your mind? Is that your soul? Just think about it. You're on an island. But is that thought inside your head? Is that you? It never stops with people because they think all the time. Who are you when you go to sleep? When there is no dream? And even when you do dream, you're not you're not thinking in your dream. I've had dreams and you're not thinking inside your dream. You're kind of like in a third person when you're in a dream. But just look at any of your dreams. Maybe one you had last night. Were you thinking in that dream? I'll say it again. Were you thinking in any of your dreams? See if you can go back to one of your nightmares or one of your dreams and see if you were thinking like you are when you're up. So, when you don't dream and you are sleeping, where are you? Are you alive? So, we only recognize ourselves when we have a thought about ourselves. We only identify and recognize ourselves when we have a thought about ourselves. So you can stop thinking. Instead of thinking, oh, about another person, about another location, you what happened to you? You're not thinking about yourself anymore. But actually, if you stop thinking altogether, you automatically connect with God. You automatically become happiness because when you stop thinking, the energy flows through your body and you feel bliss. You feel amazing. There is no debate about this. There is no arguing because you are happiness. So when you stop thinking and at least make an attempt for this, which is what everybody wants in the world, because when you stop thinking, all your problems in your head, because people have problems, they cease to exist. And when you stop thinking, you automatically feel the life force inside of you, and you automatically get in touch with your soul. So when you stop thinking, instead of thought on your head, and you think you are the thought, that is the illusion in the world we stay in. Thought. Once you stop your thoughts, then you become your soul. It's simple as that. Your thoughts are your obstruction to your soul. And when you stop thinking, even for a little moment, a minute, couple seconds, you become happiness because you become vibrating. You literally become the vibration, and you feel your soul. This is what they call God, because God is always feeling his soul, and God is a non-thinking entity. Just because you didn't give up doesn't mean you. Thanks everyone for joining. We don't need negativity in our life. We can get it out if we have the choice. People are going to be upset by the things you do, especially through the internet. And when people are upset, they want you to feel upset. They don't know what you're going through. and it's all about them. People always think that they know what's best. Well, so does everybody else. People think their opinion matters and everybody else is better. But what about everybody else's opinion? Hello, Bradley. So, again, when we stop thinking, which for most of us, it's only going to be a couple seconds, then we automatically connect and feel our soul. And there is no problem, because problem comes from in your head. And then you become happiness. So we have two realities in our world. One is the one reality most people are used to on an everyday basis. And that reality is what you think. And you think different stuff all the time. So how come you're not changing? Like, your body's not changing to your thoughts. You're not changing. Because the thoughts change, but you aren't aware of it. And this is a game that keeps you running in this cycle. You are literally thinking you are your thoughts. You're programmed to think this. But how can you be your thoughts? Because they're changing. So does that mean you're changing? And what happens is, if you stop thinking, this is the second reality. It's a non-thinking involved reality. So there's the thinking based reality that we just discussed. And then there's the feeling based of reality. And it's non-thinking. You can only do two. So next time you are thinking, ask yourself, which reality are you in? Are you in the thinking reality, which is in your head? Or are you in the reality that's all around you? The realm. Such as the Sims game. Such as Oblivion. Thank you, Bradley. You remind yourself that you're not your thoughts every day. Yeah. We all have moments throughout our lives where we're actually not thinking. And we have these moments when we are sleeping, and more so when we dream or have nightmares. You're not thinking in your dream. I know you don't realize this when you're in your dream, but just recall any of your dreams. You're not thinking like you were when you were up. Most people have times where there's no thoughts on their mind, but they're not aware. They get so caught up in whatever event that is going on. So, like when you go to a concert, someone gets like so caught up in it that they're so enjoying it that they're not thinking, and they get caught up in the concert, but they're not aware that they're not thinking because their focus has shifted to what's going on in the brain, to what's going on the outside, aka around them. So when you get these crazy blissful states, happy feelings, even nostalgia, this is all nostalgia is a time where you weren't thinking. So when you're caught up in a concert, you're like, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, yeah. But you're only enjoying it because you have no thoughts. You went from focusing on your thoughts to focusing on the outside. So your thoughts are the problem, and you become happiness once you don't have any thoughts. I am what you are, and we are all it. Yes, that is true, Zach. We can even say this to the mind. One who is awakened is also enlightened. Mm, one who is an awakened, nocturnalized, is on their way to being enlightened. But a lot of people who are awakened, they think that they know it all. They think that they are one with the environment. Now, again, they're just thinking this. So enlighten and awaken, they are like the same word, but they're also, you have to feel the oneness. It's not derived from a thought. Though it's positivity and it's nice words, you actually have to feel it. We'll go back to those. I'm a very positive person. A lot of times my thoughts become negative. That's how I know my thoughts are not me. Yeah, yeah. That's why most people have to do some battle with, like, battlement with their mind, because eventually, even no matter how positive you are, if your thoughts are 9 out of 10 positive, well then that's really good, cuz most your mind eventually will come to a negative, because the mind likes to create a problem and then it likes to solve it. That's what it is. It's not really negative and it's not really positive. So like, if it has a problem, if you think of a problem, it loves to do this and it can't get an answer. It loves this because then it doesn't have an answer, and then it feeds off of this. It's And that's kind of negative in itself. When you're positive all the time, it has nothing to feed off of. Yeah. Yeah, and thoughts just with anyone, like most people have negative thoughts on their mind all the time. All the time. So like, somebody who's very sad, they have the same gloomy thought on their head that keeps replaying and replaying. Do you know what I'm talking about? And you can't talk to these people because they have this same gloomy thought. And and there's nothing wrong with them physically. They're not in a wheelchair. They're not chained up in a jail cell. They don't have any physical calities. They don't have any problems. Their problem is that same gloomy thought on their head. They think it's them. It becomes like a parasite. Oh, I'm not worthy. Oh, I didn't get to do this, so I'm not worthy. That same, you can tell, just look at somebody who's sad and just really look at them. Their focus is internalized, and then they go drink, and they're still sad. They're still sad. They think they should be somebody, but they're not, because their thought in their mind is telling them that they're not. It's literally an evil entity. Yeah. Eventually, so most people have negative thoughts. The same thought, it's usually the same. Choo 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 choo. It goes like the train tracks that you ever seen, like the miniature ones in person. It just goes around and around in their head, the same thing every day for years. I've seen this. That's the problem is when someone gets caught up in the mind, the parasitic mind, it literally feeds on you. It feeds on your attention, and then it just, this is why the only way at the end, because yes, you can have positive thoughts mostly all the time. I That's how most of my life actually was, or I just didn't have any thoughts at all, but I wasn't aware, of course. The thing is, only you will never become like, you'll always have to battle negative thoughts eventually, because until you stop thinking, because there is no positive thought and then there is no negative thought. So you're not battling and you're not trying to get rid of negative thoughts, because once you stop thinking, then it's pure positivity. Literally, it's like sheer positivity. It's blissfulness. And the problem is not even that people are searching for this, because everybody is really searching for this. It's that people don't want to believe this. It hurts your mind when someone says you can be completely positive all the time. It shatters their thoughts. So it's not more as someone actively searching for this. It's when they hear this, they're like, it scares them because they're always negative. It shatters their belief, which is their thought. Yeah. Noctur- Nocturnalize. When you are awakened, start to search for an enlightenment. Yeah, because we're really here on a spiritual journey. But the thing is, people have desires, and you have to clear the way. You have to like clear the forest. You have to clear all those blockages. So you want a girlfriend, you want a house. Now like society also, they peer pressure you into doing some of these things, which is, that's something else, collective consciousness. But they want you imbibed into the game. Everything in this world is, once, they want to keep you distracted, because that's how the mind works. So as we were just saying, everybody has a desire, and they have to be fulfilled basically. You want to have this romantic relationship, you want to have this dream career, you have to go do it. Only then, once we exhaust all of our desires, we automatically become enlightened. or we start searching for enlightenment because it's already there. You know, when you play the Sims game, the Sims video game, there's the diamond, the chakra is above your head in the Sims video game. Okay, where do you think they got that from? It's because we have those chakra like systems inside of our body. Yeah. Nostalgia's from a time you weren't thinking. Yes, and then people think of, because when you think about nostalgia, you think about this like a memory, like this picture you were with all your friends, ha 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 ha. But like you weren't thinking. That's the key. Because when you think about nostalgia, there's nothing to think about. It's just like this picture in your head. You're actually not really thinking. Yeah, it's a very secretly it's a very secret phenomenon. And it's a diversion because when people think about nostalgia, they're like, "Oh, I want to recreate this. I want to do this again." You'll never recreate it. If you ever go to a party and then you like kind of, or if you hang out with your friends, you want to like recreate that moment sometimes, the party inside your, like you want to recreate it, but it never happens like you want it to again. We are waking up. Rub your sleepy eyes. Yeah. We are here to wake up because we have to do it before we die. Even waking up to our desires so we can exhaust them. Nocturnalize. I'm 19 and live with my mother. Well, then just live with your mother. Yeah. Most people want to live alone, but you kind of living alone, you kind of have to set that self up for yourself. Like if you live like really there's only three options to live alone. One is to use live like in a city or an apartment, but then you're going to need a lot of money, which is kind of like the most efficient route to take. Or you can basically go somewhere off grid, such as build your own little cabin. Now that may take more time, but eventually you're going to spend way more, way less money and you'll be alone. The third one, which you're going to be like disconnected from society, is to like live in a cave, which is that's what a Himalayan yogi does, or you live like, like in a village, you're not connected to society. Yeah. Those are pretty much one way or another. Yeah. But if you made music since you were 8, you you're probably very good at music. Yeah. But living with your mother is fine. It doesn't matter who you live with. Yeah. I mean, if you want to get away from them, then make that your goal. But really, like, it doesn't matter who you live with, it's just your mind. But if it is a problem, then you do what you want. Becoming awakened means your mind going into overdrive, and enlightenment begins when you learn to fully control the mind. Yeah, so Bradley, your mind can get stirred, especially when it challenges your beliefs, because at the end of the day, there is no belief, and from no beliefs, all beliefs are created, which are they're nice, but then we get caught up. We just get drawn into it and think we are the belief. The, so yes, the mind can go into overdrive if you are questioning things. Then that is a sign you are awakening. Be, because an evil person, they don't question their thoughts. They kind of just like they're just running with whatever's going on in their mind, and they think like it's the best way. That's why when people get evil, there's no way out of it. And that's why eventually the endless suffering, the great teacher, will have to come. Because like when you begin to like, okay, who am I? Is this right what I'm doing? Why am I doing this? You start questioning yourself. Most people don't even question their self. So the mind is just like its own entity in itself. Hello, Matt the Visionary. Nocturnalize, you have the energy to work. Yeah. Most people can, 99% of people. There is like 1% of people that are messed up. And they actually don't have the energy to do stuff. But that's only 1% of people. Yeah. Yeah. Like you just absolutely can't do anything. So Bradley is right when it comes to that. Well, if you want to, I mean, you're very young, nocturnalized, and yeah, I'm to be honest, I would say like it 99% of people want to stay in a cabin or a mountain or a van. Uh, it's our natural habitat. We want the least amount of things. So again, the younger civilization, this is the awakening because they naturally want what's natural. But unfortunately, with what's at the moment, you need like a little bit of money and you have to work towards those things. You could meet a friend, a buddy that stays in the mountains and you can go live with them. It could happen just like that. But is it the right person? You know, you could meet a girlfriend and she's rich and you can do whatever the F you want. But what you want to do nocturnalize is true. I was just adding on as an addition is most people actually want that. I mean, you could probably ask everybody in here if they're not already doing that. There's actually more people like you, and this goes with everybody in here. We are more alike. Yeah, but you're so young, you can do that. Yeah. Hey, I bunga. Yeah, I don't know what they said, Matt, but thanks. Yeah, I had to get someone out earlier, but they only said one thing. Yeah. Yeah, like Bradley said, you just have to work towards it a little bit. If it's your main, if you make whatever you make your main priority, that's the direction that you go in. So if you make it your main priority, especially being so young, it's gonna happen. Like that's the thing about our reality is like you have to go towards it and focus. Like if you the thing is if you really want sex, because a lot of people want this. If you really want sex, you have to make it your top priority because you're not looking for love, which is different. You're looking for sex, and you know it too. But the thing is, people that have these addictions and that want sex, they they're not always going after it. Once you jack off, or vice versa, masturbate, you don't even care to have sex anymore, especially for a man. So, and then that main priority that you had, it's not there anymore. But if you keep it there all the time, and you go and you want sex and you keep going for it, you're gonna get it. The problem is people they get distracted. Hello, little Miss Sunshine. Sorry I haven't been here the last couple days. Yeah. Don't worry, Matt the Visionary. If someone if someone is leaving something negative, you can just boot them out of here. Give him the Timberlands, and if you feel somebody's vibing off, yeah, you can kick them out of here too. Yeah, because usually if you feel something right away, then that person has to go. Zach says it's okay to fulfill your responsibilities in the world and become a pillar. I like that word. For around you, do it all in worship of God. Yeah. The thing is, most people have to come to that. They have to go through all these stages. They're not just going to do that. But that is where ultimately we come to. We all want to help each other, and we all want to uplift each other. Now, I hate to bring names into this, but people like, Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, and pretty much all these artists, they you do not know them. I'm telling you this. So the light that they're seen in on camera, that's not how they act when they're off camera. And they're not necessarily they're not trying to help people. They've been rich most of their life, super rich. They do whatever the f they want. And this goes with most rich people, so they do whatever they want. They don't care about anybody else, and it's just all about them. And they just go through this through their whole life. And eventually they're going to suffer. It's bound to happen. It's because, yeah. Again, there's people like, yeah, like Drake may give $50,000 to a cancer patient, which it is nice, but like out of all the stuff he could be doing, they all could be doing way, way, way more. We're not going to go deeper into that though. But you are exactly right, Zach. That's kind of like the final stage of like whatever you want to say, human development. Even when we're a kid, we naturally want to like share with people. Even animals, wild animals, if you're like starving, they were actually and you're in the wild, like lost, the wild animals will actually bring you food. And we don't once we start to have some break away from the mind, we start to feel each other and we want to uplift humanity. That's why we're all here. Just some are obviously just too stuck in their mind. Thank you, Zach. Yeah. Not abandon the world, live in the world. Yeah. We gotta be that lighthouse. Sunshine is drinking coffee. You are the God and principal source. Yeah, you're exactly right, Zach. Your service to God and the others. There is no difference. Um, it is a crazy. It is a crazy world. Thank you for all you guys for being here. In the future, we're gonna be setting up a lot more stuff in real life and classes, meditations, and ways, techniques. So it can be accessible to everybody. I just want to make something happen. What do you mean about that? Matthew, it's nice to see you here. Um, how do you make a living? I don't I don't really make that much money off of music, nocturnalized. Yeah, and uh I don't really have much money at all, you know what I mean? I was actually supposed to move off grid with my friend and that didn't happen yet. So that kind of I'm stuck in between where I'm at right now. Yeah. But my car, both of my cars are messed up, so I was driving for the money that I made, which was doing Instacart. Yeah. But, and I had some money saved up, so it's just a combination of things. And my body's also been messed up for like the last 9 years. So it's, even though it's got a little bit better recently, the previous years at the beginning, I couldn't work. So when I was like 21, 22, 23, even though I did work a little bit or tried to, yeah. And I also had money saved up then too. So, yeah. So with all that into play, I do make a little bit money from YouTube donations and donations through anything basically, Cash App or PayPal. Yeah. So right now I'm probably the brokest that I've ever been. And I actually stay with family. But I just came back as like a couple of months ago, half a year ago. Because I was supposed to be going to do something else basically, but it didn't happen. Yeah, Bradley's coming with the wisdom today. Thanks to Bradley, and I appreciate everybody's wisdom in here. I acknowledge all you guys, and I hope you give knowledge to everybody you can, because knowledge is the key to free us from this life. Even when people refer to the Bible, that is actually a piece of knowledge in itself, uplifting humanity. Hello, Justin Webb. Matthew gets I am. Yeah, Bradley. Damn, you should write a poem. I feel like Bradley can write a little poetry book. That'd be nice. That actually gave me, yeah, like my body's been like so messed up for years because I couldn't eat food and I couldn't think and I couldn't really move. So I couldn't even do anything. Like I would already have, and I hate to say this, but I would already have my own businesses and things like that. But that just gave me I got like a nice simple book idea from Bradley. Mountains and a cloud, dark, kind of like cartoonish in a way, and it would be like black pitch black sky, it'd be like a little poetry book. Money moves things, yeah. But we can get money in so many ways now. It's, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of kids and streamers playing video games, literally making money online. It, what it really comes down to is if there's a will, there's a way. You have to actually truly love what you want to do, because the, beyond money, that is going to give you the satisfaction of your life. Yeah, well, that's beautiful, nocturnalized. Yeah, I'm glad you just got another book about healing herbs. Sounds very nice. I stand right behind you. Matthew says he wants a real community. Yeah, I'm sorry my body's messed up. I'm trying to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like I I I don't want to. I try to help people as much as I can, but my body, I can't fully help the world until I'm fully correct myself. I mean, yeah. Mine is debilitating though, so it's like that 1%. But I do plan to open up a place in the future, hopefully relatively soon, where we can all everybody's invited to advance your spirituality, and a way to where you can live free, live for free. We can, and stress free, and make our own money, so people have their own money, or we bring in money for the community. It's okay to get up in the morning at 4 a.m. and service your wife. Yeah, of course. That's what your wife is there for. If it was just your wife and your kids, there wouldn't be all this in the world. It would just be you, your wife, and your kids. And having a wife is, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Kids too. But we shouldn't make that our identity. We can't forget about the world. The service to your wife is a beautiful thing. I think my next live, I'm gonna go outside. Yeah, Bradley, we have a community here. And if there's any, like, if you guys have any thoughts, you can always email me, even in the live. If there's, something you think that will, like a Facebook group or something along those lines, we can definitely talk about it. Yeah. And not the thing about me is I'm unbiased. So to take it to the extremes, if there's a girl with me, even if I really like her and she was with me for a year or 2 years and I see she wants to be with someone else, I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna let her be. Even though I've never had a person leave me like that, even if they still liked me, I'm gonna let that person go with the other person. Let it flow. No resistance. Like moving water. It doesn't bother me. and and what I meant by is I'm like the most unbiased person because I want what's best for every individual. And like if there's a community out there, which there are, there's tons of them. There's ashtrams, there's villages you can stay for dirt cheap, and you can live in the woods. You could literally go craft your own thing in the woods. I would suggest it. I would suggest it. It's not about, oh, you have to come to my community. My community is the best. No. I'm all even if I couldn't help you on something, this you see this is what differentiates me between a lot of other people. And I do one-on-one consultations. I have even thought about doing them for free recently, but is like if I which I have some of the best stuff for you. But if I can't give you it, other people are going to say, no, I have the best. I know what works for you. You have to follow my way. This is the correct way. Well, I know the correct way for one. And two, if somebody else has something to offer that I can't offer to you, even if you're paying me, I'm still going to be like, no, go to this other person because they have what you need. I don't know what that is, but I'm it's not all about, oh, I know what's best for everybody. I'll suggest other techniques from other people. When you get to some of these influencers, it's like, oh, they know. They won't recommend anybody outside of themselves. But yeah. But like Bradley said, just keep that thought inside your head. Sorry. I was give them the Timberland treatment. Thank you, Little Miss Sunshine. I'm glad to see you here too. Thanks for all the beautiful emojis. Sometimes all it takes is a beautiful emoji to uplift your day. Are you nocturnalize? Are you talking about smoking cigarettes? Or are you talking about smoking weed? Yeah, well, that's the thing, Matt. Visionary is we can't get caught up in what other people think, but a lot of the world is stuck in stupidity. That is just how it is. Okay, so Bradley just said if it is weed, it definitely takes energy away, all energy. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, I smoke weed like very solemnly, but that's because my body's also messed up. But back then, weed didn't really affect me being productive or not. But I could see, I mean, I've obviously know it does affect productivity. Like you said, it can make you very lazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way, Justin Webb, not to deceive yourself. Yeah, you just cannot care. You can show love to others, be a service, but what happens to your mind, you just cannot show any indifference. Just cannot care. Yeah, that was a great one. Yeah. Yeah, you're sober now and you have more energy at 35. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I only smoke like a couple puffs here and there. And even with my body, I've been wondering if I should even hit those puffs. Yeah. But that's great. You have more energy than ever before. Energy is life. The more energy you have, the better that you feel. It's a no-brainer. Most people have some sort of energy, But when you have like no energy, then you realize like, oh, maybe you don't. But energy is literally everything. That's why to control your whole vessel, you need a high amount of energy. You do. And the more energy you have, the better that you feel. There's nothing wrong with caring. Yeah. People get attached way too easily. Real life, yeah, of course. I'm My presence isn't just like an online YouTube thing. Like a lot of people, they like base their whole life off of YouTube. Even my go, I want to do stuff in real life. It's just my body's kind of like infringing me from doing that. But these other people dedicate their whole life to YouTube, and you can do whatever you want. I that's yeah. I prefer to do stuff in real life. You know, I mean, it's YouTube's fine, but I wouldn't. It's not my life goal to. I don't know. So whatever. Like I would never make YouTube my only source of money. They could cancel your account any second. Yeah. And it's just not like my goal is not to become big on YouTube and make a bunch of money off of YouTube. It's not saying I don't want to become big on YouTube and reach people and make a bunch of money. If I make a bunch of money, I'm still going to be living the same way. I'm going to be like in a hut, but I'm actually going to be building community with that money. So while I do want the money, it's not my end goal. It's kind of like a side quest with YouTube, if that makes sense. But I'm so grateful I get to meet you guys through here. We're all kind of spaced out, and we're all going to meet each other one way or another in the future. Very, very soon, some of us. Yeah. And I've made friends. I've met beautiful people online. You know, I found out beautiful knowledge. So, yes, in real life. Hello, Mead. Med. You were on alcohol at 13. God damn. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, if you were like depressed, I'm so sorry about that. And you smoked weed like every day, especially so young, yeah, you might want to like try to cut back on all those external like stimulants. I mean, they're not even really drugs. More, I think I like the word stimulant more. Yeah. But you're also like 13 and you didn't know any better. So, yeah. But thanks for sharing that. Hopefully things get better for you, nocturnal eyes, and if you stay with the channel, you're surely going to get better, have techniques and a lot of health advice that could change your life. You're also really young, so you still have windows of opportunity. Yeah, Matthew DaCosta, where are you from? Like, if I had my own house or place right now, I would be inviting people for like retreats basically for free if I could afford it. And I would just have people coming there and we would just be teaching spirituality. Yeah. Med said she quit smoking. Why did you quit smoking, Med? Yeah. Yeah, well, some people are going to have to go after it for their own satisfaction, Matthew. And yeah, just kind of how it is. Then some people, they're just not going to feel the buzz. They're going to want something different. So they're not going to want to do that no more. For something new to happen in your life, you're going to have to do something different. You might be the brokest you ever been, Snap, but you are definitely the wisest you ever been. Yeah, yeah, I guess that's true. You know what I mean? I didn't ask for this. It came to me. Yeah. But thanks. I'm just here for everybody else's happiness. I'm here to make other people happy. Yeah, and I want to give them all my knowledge. And it's best to learn one or two things at a time. It's not best to try to learn all the knowledge at once because it's just going to be too overwhelming. But I appreciate that, Bradley. When I allowed, I appreciate that so much. It's people like you that change the world. Thank you. When I allowed tobacco to serve me, it no longer hindered me. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Matthew. Yeah, it's always the wisdom nocturnalized. It's always the wisdom. I'm so glad for you. Yeah. Hello, Justin Webb. Yeah, we're all just sharing poetry with one another. We're all just sharing love. And even in your deepest fears, which we all have, they will end. It's a falsified demon. All fears eventually go. They're not real to your soul. Am I still here? I scrolled down. Yeah. Maybe it was your connection or was it mine? Let me see. Sorry. But Bradley was saying that he writes poetry. Yeah, I figured that. That's so awesome. Sorry, I missed what a lot of you guys said. Yeah. Well, if your body benefits more, Matt, then that's how it is. Yeah, and I will be releasing my books for free. I don't know how to publish them, so I gotta look into that. Hello, Mr. Martinis. Sorry, I was the comments. I was like way behind. I always try to read all of them. Yeah, nice to see you here, Mr. Martinis. That name got a ring to it. Yeah, well, Little Miss Sunshine. I have some of the books written already. They're already done. I was writing books before I got sick. One of them are is like the next Dr. Seuss kind of, but the revolutionary. But I got my body got messed up, so I couldn't think, and I just stopped doing anything creative. Basically, everything I was doing creative, painting, making music, uh, poetry, writing books, stand up comedy. I lost all of that. But anyways, the books I will be releasing every one of my books for free. online through like a PDF file, whatever. But then I'll have the option where you can purchase them. I'll have the option where you can purchase the hard book copy. Yeah. Thank you, little Miss Sunshine. How have you been, Mr. Martinis? well, well, yeah, I seen your beautiful creations, little Miss Sunshine, and wow, it's just something else. It's out of this world. Yeah, and you deserve millions of dollars for your paintings. Yeah, they were very beautiful. Yeah. If it if this is lagging at all, can you guys let me know? You work for Boar's Head? Yeah, well, Ohio is right next to Pennsylvania, Bradley. Yeah, I mean, it just matters, slave away. It just all matters, what you're trying to do. Are you trying to start a business? I mean, but yeah, every job you had before that was terrible. In the future, we're not going to be working as much. We're going to be living more fruitfully. It doesn't seem like that though. Do you have type 1 diabetes nocturnalized, or is it type 2? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that I didn't get all the comments. There was just so many. Thank you, Matthew DaCosta. You're a breath of fresh air too. I appreciate all you guys. If there's anything you want to tell me before I go, I love all you guys. Thank you all for being here. And I hope God comes into everybody's life. Yeah, one Bradley said he used to have no energy because of your thoughts. You would tell yourself I'm tired or you don't feel like doing things. Yeah, your thoughts they weigh you down, especially if they're negative. It takes energy from you. Yeah, and it sucks like cuz your thoughts actually have weight. That's when you become light, literally the definition of light. You you actually feel light and your thoughts become light too. Yeah. That's great though. And even thinking whether it's controlled or not, it actually takes energy because you're always like hyper adrenalized basically. You can never like settle down. And when we fully settle down, when we fully become calm, then God tells us what we need to do. Our intuition tells us what the answers. Reality gives us all the answers. But to be in a receptive state, we have to be completely calm. This is where you need to be. That was funny, Matthew. Can't wait to get your hands on me. I'm glad that you did that though, Bradley. Yeah. We're all here to do great things and we all have a destiny to fulfill. Don't think small. Think as big as you can. Okay, well, diabetes, yeah, type 1. Yeah, you're just gonna have to work around that one. There are definitely techniques and ways of eating to alleviate that. And I'm sorry to have that. Sorry for you to have that as so young. And also, if you're very overweight, that could make diabetes worse. Yeah, you want to tell me in real life? I understand that. I'm glad to find you nocturnalize. And I'm glad I seen. Hello, Lego. North Carolina. North Carolina is right around me, Mr. Martinis. I feel like most of you guys are right around me, lingering on the outsides. our our art, it seems like it never gets appreciated like it should. Yeah, no problem. Little Miss Sunshine. Hope you enjoy your day. God bless everyone. We've been in here for almost 2 hours. It's been one hell of a time. I hope everyone has the best day of their life. And you can always make that decision that's going to change the rest of your life. It's up to you. You can make the choice. And the only choice that really matters is whatever you love. Whatever is calling you, it's eating your heart out alive. So that's what you need to do. That is your calling. hmm. A swimming hole in the backyard. I have a home I'm selling. Hey, that's nice. I haven't seen you in a while, Mr. Martinis, but it was nice seeing you. We might be back later on tonight, maybe 12 hours from now. If night, if night, I would try to be here in the AM tomorrow morning. I love all you guys. and I'll talk to you soon. And Mr. Martinez, did you say you were starting a YouTube channel? Lego, I appreciate you being here. God bless all you guys. May the Lord be with you and all your actions and all your words. Just feel this inside of you. Your core being is this happiness, and your true calling is what you feel. Don't wait any longer. Go towards that direction. Thanks for all the beautiful emojis. It almost makes me tear up. Okay, I thought you were saying you were doing a little YouTube. I'm glad for you, Mr. Martinez. And yes, Matt the Visionary's body is messed up in digestive ways. I'll see you guys here soon. I appreciate every one of you. God appreciates every one of you. In reality, appreciates you too. Is that like a genie, Little Miss Sunshine? And that blue one with the three hearts, that reminds me of something like you drew, which is kind of funny. Well, maybe Bradley and Matt the Visionary can, maybe you guys can connect through like email, something like that. All right. Follow your intuition. Follow what you love. There is nothing else.